So we've completed our tartan chairs now. As you can see, love the way this rosewood veneer has come out. It's just stunning. Didn't even know what that was on the back. Frame's looking quite old, which is really nice for these, because they are period and these are a memento of a member of family. The two family tartans are obviously the two family names, bringing them together. But quite often when people talk to me about furniture, there's different elements to take into account, whether restoration, i.e. put them back to actually what they were where possible, recycling, and that's using something to make it into something else, and that might be a chest that gets made into a coffee table or something like that. And then there's upcycling, which is changing it into a different era or period, or making it shabby chic or something like that. Techniques using paint and different types of finish and embellishment on the wood with signs and things like that as well. So there's all these factors to kind of consider when you're looking at your choices, whether it's from something you're picking up from a tip from a cheap shop, whether it's something that you've inherited or whatever. You've got all these different options. With these chairs, it was to make them into a memento of the family, but importantly, there's 4 or 5 main points. First of all, if there's some wood involved, how do I want it to look? What are my options with that? What kind of shades? What ways can the wood be worked on to get different finishes? Fabrics, there's literally hundreds, if not thousands. Lots of choices there for anything that can be covered with a fabric. What I tend to do is I send my clients in to see my fabric suppliers directly, where they can see the fabrics on 4 pieces of furniture and large samples, not just a wee swatch or a picture on a computer screen. That works really, really well for us, and of course they're experts in fabrics. I'm not. They specialise in that, so they can advise really well. Once we then look at fabrics and we've looked at the wood, then there's extras. So for example, because we are looking for a period style of finish, we've gone for a traditional antique button strip, which is fixed to the sides of each chair. But that's your fashion one, and you've probably seen that before. You probably have no idea that you can get them in such an array of colours and finishes, and you can pick a colour. So we could have gone for a yellow or gold button to match the yellow. We could have gone for blue buttons to match the blue. We could have even gone for red buttons. Apart from all the different trims as well, which you can use to finish where the joints are on the fabric, or where the fabric is connected to the frame of a chair, for example. There's lots of other different trims available. You've also got buttons. So we can do things like deep buttoning, where we insert the twine and we attach the button to the piece of furniture as a point of decoration. Again, buttons can be made, cloth or fabric colour buttons can be made and covered in any fabric. So, you know, you could pick, here we've got 2 fabrics here. This is for a very large buffet, which we'll be doing soon. And then the paler grey in there, we've got in this fabric. So we could make buttons out of this and decorate that with it, or we could use this to make something to accompany the buffet, to blend it into furniture in the rest of the room. And that happens quite a bit as well. So for example here, this tartan, quite special, and you can only buy it in certain sizes. So I had to buy a metre of each, which leaves us that of each piece. So what we're going to do with this is make some scatter cushions. There'll be 1 for each type of carton, maybe 2 smaller ones possibly for each. So when they go into the room, that they go into the living, the scatter cushions will go into that room too. What it does, it ties everything into the room. So imagine that was plainish furniture in the rest of the room, but that gets the tartan scatter cushions on, chairs are in there too, and you've brought everything together. So there's quite a few options like that, and things like piping that can be put on the cushions to match something, so on and so forth. So plenty of options with your restorations, or whether you're recycling or whether you're upcycling.
What would you say for someone who finds it quite hard to, it's maybe a lot of options, so they're trying to, you know, what do I pick, trying to come to that decision?
Yeah, well, usually there's a process to follow. That first of all, what room is it going into, and what's already in the room? Send me a picture of the room. Let me come and see the room, and I can pick the colours that can fit with that. When people go in to see my fabric supplies, I might take a picture of the room or on my phone or something like that. But break it down into options first of all, then pick the colours you might want to go together and the styles of fabrics, and have a look at them together. Then with that in mind, you could make a decision on things like the wood, and then overall you'll come to a conclusion where you found your preferences, how you would like it to look, and by going through what I explained there, that'll help you not be too mystified by the amount of choice that you've actually got, and it'll narrow it down so you can be more decisive about what you can do.
Right.
Quite often, as I'm doing a restoration, I give people an update if I feel they're a wee bit unsure. So I could strip the chair and send some samples of different colours on the frame to the customer. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Sometimes they'll say, I'll just go with whatever you think, Kirk. But sometimes they'll say, no, thanks very much for that. I like that one. That's what I would like to do. Remember, nearly all wood, before it's finished, there's colour and a finish added. Nearly all wood is pale. So everything can even go back to completely natural and not have anything as well. And a lot of people do that. You take something effectively old looking, which people think is a bit untrendy now, just dark brown wood. You can take it straight back to a pale wood, which is more modern and fits in some people's homes a lot more than a dark wood, especially in more modern properties. So yeah, a lot of options there.